I dream of it, amongst the wild threads of history and the myriad of paths. My path saw the Imperium rise from the ashes left in the wake of the Great Revolt. Thou shalt not make a machine in the likeness of the human mind. With that commandment, new avenues of human potential were explored. Mentats, Suk Doctors, Sword Masters, and the mystical Bene Gesserit Sisterhood. But it was the Navigators and their monopoly on space travel that set the conditions for the Imperium. But I am telling you of the universe you already know. Let me describe the one you do not. In this other universe, my mother, Lady Jessica, consort to Duke Leto Atreides, gave birth to a daughter, a girl they named Ariste. Because of her obedience to the Bene Gesserit, Lady Jessica is trained as a truth-sayer. Because of that training, Lady Jessica was able to detect Dr. Yue's deception. Because of the forewarning of his betrayal, House Atreides survived the Battle of Arrakis. Because of their survival, the Emperor declared a full-scale war of assassins. Because of the war, the Sardaukar were deployed to ensure spice shipments continued without interruption. Because of the Sardaukar, the Fremen were eradicated. There was no Muad'Dib, no Lisan al-Gaib, no Kwisatz Haderach. I see a universe where I, Paul Atreides, was never born. All my visions lead to horror, except this one. This one leads to you.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Dune Awakening. Well, yeah, this is going to be very new for this channel because, well, I have never really played an MMO type of game on this channel before. Technically speaking, this is also a survival game, so that's not going to be very new, but yeah, MMOs are a bit different. We might encounter, obviously, other players along the way, so be prepared for that. Anyways, my history with the series is basically, I have read the first 3 books, Dune, Children of Dune and Dune Messiah, and I have also read some of the prequel books from Brian Herbert, but, well, I am not exactly a fan. So yeah, anyways, I am very excited to get into this game because, well, the first 3 books are pretty legendary and I am a relatively big fan. But anyways, as you have seen in the intro, this is not exactly the same as the universe in the books. It is a little bit different. And that difference is that Paul Atreides has never been born. Instead, Jessica actually bore a daughter and, well, things turned out a bit more differently. Anyways, let's get into it. So I will choose a server real quick and then we'll get into the character creation.
Approach, prisoner. Show yourself, child.
Right, this is the character creator. It is relatively in-depth, but there are some limitations. For example, I tried to create a couple of screen media characters. For example, I tried to recreate, let me see, yeah, this one. I tried to recreate Jamis from the Villeneuve movie. I think I did, well, not a great job, but it turned out relatively okay. I don't think it really resembles the actual character from the movie, or the actor even, but you know what, I think it turned out relatively okay. I also tried to recreate Tula from the Prophecy series, and as you can see, she didn't turn out all that great. So yeah, this is where I gave up on the recreation of different characters. I also created a generic, I don't know, Fremen looking character, but you know what, I think I will actually go for this guy, Jamis. But wait. In the character creator, I gave him a hair, so let me fix that real quick. I think I gave him this hair, or no, it was this one, I think. But you know what? Let's go for this one. Yeah. So yeah, I think we will play this guy. Okay. So I think character creation is sorted now. In fact, yeah, I am pretty happy with this character. Yeah, let's go for it. Now, we can play in two different modes. We can either have the research tree unlocked, or we can have it locked. If it's locked, then it will be gated behind basically the tutorial, and it will be slowly unlocked for us. I think I could go for the advanced, but you know what? For the benefit of first-time players, let's play with the locked settings.
Have they told you what I am? Then I will sift your words for lies. Let's begin. Where were you born?
I am really leaning towards Caladan, but I am also considering Chusuk. Kaitan, XL or Giedi Prime, not really. So these are the two options that I'm leaning towards. I think I will go for Chusuk because, well, Caladan is a little bit too overused by the community, so let's just go for Chusuk.
A music world, a grand center of the arts. The Order of the Imperium is rooted in the Farfreluches, a place for every man and every man in his place. Where is your place?
So basically, we can be kind of a administrator for the Imperium. We can be a member of one of the noble families, or basically a peasant. I think I will be a bondsman. Basically, we are in the middle of the hierarchy.
There is always work to be done. And millions like you to do it. You had a mentor in your youth, trained by one of the schools. Who was your mentor?
Now, don't get too hung up on this choice. This is basically just your starting skill tree. Later on in the game, you will be able to unlock every single one of the skill trees. So our mentor could be a swordmaster, a Bene Gesserit acolyte, a mentat, or a trooper. I would like to be a swordmaster because, well, that is what I'm leaning towards right now, so let's go for that one.
From the failed house of Ginaz, I assume. What a waste that whole affair was. The test is almost complete. Have you spoken truth?
So, we are from Chusuk, we are a bondsman, and our mentor was a swordmaster. Yes, I have spoken truth.
Come here. Kneel. Put your hand in the box. I hold at your neck the Gom Jabbar, the high-handed enemy. Don't pull away or you will die. Great plots are afoot in the Imperium, and the currents of intrigue run deeply. Arrakis is the key, and the Fremen are missing. You will go to Arrakis as our agent, prisoner. You have one task. Find the Fremen. Wake the sleeper. Everything depends on this. Do you understand? Good. You speak truth. But here is the rest of it. There is only one rule. Keep your hand in the box and live. Withdraw it and die. An animal would gnaw off its own hand to escape the pain. And we can only be served by humans. Find the Fremen. Wake the sleeper. You will know when it is done.
No, Arista said it was just a dream. I agree, but she is almost Sayadina.
And welcome to Arrakis. So, wait, the guy said that Ariste is almost a Sayadina, so apparently she's with the Fremen now. Okay, good to know. Yeah, I did play in the beta, but I purposely didn't pay attention to the story, so most of this will be completely new to me. Just FYI. Anyways, we are in the cave, let's pick up the Frem kit. Okay, now we need to craft a makeshift metal knife. Let's go for that. And there we go. Now, before we proceed, I will move it to the second quick slot because I would like to have the first one for the medkits. There we go. Good. And then drink. Yeah, we are basically drinking the dew from these flowers. As you might have guessed, water will be extremely important in this game. Next up, let's craft some medkits. All 5 please, thank you. And yeah, we will have them on the first quick slot. So it's going to be a little bit easier to reach. Also, this game has a climbing system and it is basically completely freeform. You can climb anywhere. So we don't need to have handholds. We can just climb even completely smooth surfaces. That's going to be fine. Okay, let's continue. And obviously, along the way, we might want to harvest every single resource that we can because it will come in handy later down the line. This is a survival game, so resource management is going to be very important. And here we go. Next step in the story.
So then, you're not quite dead. Now you will know a thing that few but the Fremen have seen. For many, the last thing they saw before they were slaughtered. Speak of our escape. Twin comets in the sky, a rebirth from fire and death, and a Sardaukar net closing around us. Your survival heralds interesting times, Offworlder. Is this what you wish? To waste time in idle chatter? Your first lesson on Arrakis, then. Every exhalation is a waste of water. I am Xantara. My companion is Noctua. Now, shall we discuss our escape? The Fremen name for it translates as the Valley of Echoes, a sacred place to the Fremen, a place of death and prophecy. It is the miracle and inimitability of prophecy. I will speak on this no further. A portable rocket, I surmise, based on the damage. No doubt the work of some desperate and dangerous outlaw. One with a burning hatred for the Emperor and all he represents. But there are so many fitting that description. There's a way through the barricade, if you do as I say. Because I dragged your corpse from the wreckage and sealed you in that cave while you recovered. Because you owe me your life, Offworlder. Do not be concerned, Offworlder. I expect very little of you beyond your help to escape this trap. We're gonna need one of their ornithopters. Their protocol is to remain aloft and kill anything that moves from above. That's where you come in. If you can slip back onto the Proteus and locate the command module, you can activate the captain's personal emergency transmitter. He's a noble. They're not allowed to let him die. Leave the rest to me. His Majesty's Imperial Sardaukar care for naught but the Emperor's interests, and certainly not an errant prison crew bound for the slave pits of Neo-Carthag. We are as vermin to them, off-worlder. You must kill them. In other circumstances, their water would be a valuable resource, but with the Sardaukar here, we do not have time to claim them. Only those that get in your way. Think of it as a kindness. They will not survive Arrakis for long. Here, take this Communinet transceiver. It's essential for planetary communication. Now go, and be quick. The Mother Storm is upon us.
Okay, we need to make sure that we stick to the shadows.
Stick to the shadows, off-worlder. The heat of the sun is deadly to the unprepared.
Well, we are talking about one of the hottest planets in science fiction, so yeah, no surprises there. As I've said, water, heat management is very, very important. Anyways, let's get onto the ship and let's see what's next.
The guards have sealed themselves inside. Search the prisoners for a cut array. And off-worlder. The cut array is primarily a mining tool, off-worlder. You'll need it for harvesting resources. Using it to cut open ships is an added benefit. The captain's room is blocked by a pentashield. You'll need a pentashield key to pass through. See if there's another way forward. Ready your weapon, off-worlder. The guards won't hesitate. Neither should you.
Well, this is the tutorial for the combat, obviously, so let's get to it. And now the parrying, basically just the usual, you know, parry as they are attacking, and then they will be staggered.
Parry your opponents just as their strikes will hit you. This should stagger them, giving you a window of opportunity.
Yeah, as you might have guessed, timing is very important. Okay, well, that could have been better, but well, it's still the early game, so we can get into the swing of things at least. Anyways, let's make sure we quickly go. There we go. Okay, thankfully we have some water right here, so let's go ahead and drink and proceed. If you are not familiar with the lore of the Dune universe, shields are basically a way of circumventing projectile weapons. Only slow things can pass through a shield, so we need to basically stagger the enemy, and when they are staggered, we can slowly get through their shields and basically hit them that way. And that is the only way of getting through the shields. Well, apart from actually overloading them, but that will come later. So we need to stagger this guy, and then we need to make a heavy attack, and that will get through the shield.
A swift attack can force your enemy off balance. but only a slow blade penetrates a shield.
Eyes on target. You're dead. Eyes on enemy. Shield on.
There we go. Once again, took a bit longer than I would like, but it's not too bad.
That's the pentashield key. Once you equip it, you can pass through the shield. Get to the captain and activate that transmitter. I'll be there soon. We only need the leader. I hear I'm a wanted man.
Oi! Utland scum! I vits jo man tukta lasto breath ada hung unvalo arsund. De dia abada.
I know. That's why I brought you here.
Stitch.
The Thopter will have the codes to get us through the barrier. Ever fly an ornithopter? It's simple enough. But my leg is bad and I won't be able to work the pedals. Get ready. They'll be on us as soon as we break through. There's too many! Turn us into the storm! They won't follow. Hang on! We're going down! Get up, Offworlder. I couldn't wait for you. But now you need to run. The sandworm is coming. Run! Now! Off-worlder. Catch your breath. When the Thopter went down, the storm took us far off course. My leg is bad. I need to lay low and treat it before it gets worse. But fear not, Off-worlder. Noctua can cover the ground between us with little effort. She will be my eye in the sky so I can continue to offer my sage advice and keep you on this side of the grave. Figure out how to craft yourself some clothing. That Maula outfit won't cut it out here.
Okay, so I've unlocked the first tier of clothing. So tell you what, let's go ahead and make it real quick. That is going to be basically, as you might be able to see, plant fiber clothing, so extremely basic, but it will do in a pinch. Anyways, yeah, that's about all we can do right now. Okay, well, at this point we are basically in the game proper. And, well, I think I will try to make my way westward a little bit, because that is where I want to settle down next. I am hoping that maybe we can knock out the first area in the first episode. At least I am hopeful. Now, as you can see, we already have some players settling in. That is a player housing. So, there we go. Okay, now, let's continue. So we are making the clothing. At this point it should be, yeah, it is done now. Let's equip.
The War of Assassins has left debris scattered all over this sector. Salvage metal from the wreckage with your cutter ray and use it to make a Maula pistol and darts. Don't let the Imperial disdain for ranged weapons lead you astray. Very few people are foolhardy enough to use shields this deep in the sands, and that is to your advantage.
Oh, there we go. There are the first scavengers. And yeah, that was, by the way, our Swordmaster skill. Basically a knee charge, very effective in low levels. Okay, next we need to harvest a couple of, well, scrap metal. So let's get to it. One more of these should do it. But as I've said, I'm trying to make my way westward, because if we move a little bit higher up, we might be able to see. Maybe from here. Not really. Anyways, there is an outpost not too far away, maybe a couple of kilometers from here. And that is where I want to build the first base. Well, not too close to it, but not too far away either. Oh, we have a worm going through the area. Anyways, we are still looking for scrap metal. By the way, we can research the... No, we cannot. We need to first harvest the metal. That should do it. Also, we are in the open sun. Let's hide a second. Let the heat stroke meter go down. Is that little arched bar that is going down now. If you spend too much time out in the sun, it will fill up, and if it's full, we will basically lose water at a very fast pace, and that is not ideal, to say the least. And yes, that was a player on a sand bike. We will get our own, hopefully not too far in the future. Anyways, I think it is safe now to pass. Basically, you do not want to stand on the sand for too long, because if you pay attention on the middle lower part of the UI, that was the sandworm warning. The more time you spend out in the open and the more vibrations you make on the sand, the more likely that the worm will come and try to eat us. And that is not going to be very healthy for us, because, well, as it happens, one of the ways in this game to lose every single item that we are carrying is to be eaten by a worm. need to say that is not great. Another way is through certain kinds of PvP, but I am not going to worry about that too much. I will try to avoid PvP as much as possible because, well, I am not really a PvP kind of player.
Who's the enemy found?
Okay, pay attention. There we go. Okay, apparently we lost pretty much everything in the crash, including our health kits, right? Let me just check. Yeah, no more health kits. Let's make... No, wait, there it is. Okay, once again, health kit in number 1, and the rest can be in the remaining slots. That is why I messed up a little bit right now. I accidentally sheatheded the knife at the start. Anyways, thankfully looting in this game is individually based, so we can have 50 players right here and everyone could loot this chest and everyone would get what they need. Thankfully it's not first come first served out in the PvE zones. Anyways, westward, can I see anything? Not really. How far are we? We are making progress. You know what? Since we are here, let's explore this. This is basically a slightly bigger outlaw outpost, and we can get some skill points. No, sorry, not skill points, but research points here. So let's go for that. Also, we are out of medkits. Let me craft a couple of them before we actually engage. We can make 19, let's go for 10 of them, I suppose. Okay, now we are ready. Now here we will need to be a bit more careful because, as you might have guessed, there are a lot more enemies here. Did you notice me? Yes, you did. Unfortunately, the cooldown of the knee... Oh, wait. They didn't see us. Yeah, there is a very, very rudimentary stealth system in the game. Oh, jeez. That's a shielded enemy. Okay, that was lucky. Oops. That was a miss.
I've got you covered.
Someone's here. Found you.
Okay. Basically, in these places, what we need to do is find a green hologram, which will it is basically an intel cache, and that is what is the main objective of this place. That will give us the research point that we need. Ah, there it is. So pick it up, and this will give us 3 intel. Yeah, the research points basically. I suppose at this point we can move on, but there should be bigger chests laying around, so we might want to explore a bit more. Also, we can have these audio logs. Oh, let's listen to this one.
Yeah, scrap's still plentiful thanks to the war. We might be able to find you some Holtzman generators, but it's tricky. Holtzman fields really rile up the worms. And now we've got to search during the heat of the day because of the damn Sardaukar patrol ships with their bloody searchlights running all night long. Don't know who they're looking for, but they drop Chone mercenaries to take anyone they see. Glad it's just the mercs and not the Sardaukar themselves. Might stand a chance against company stooges who don't know the desert.
Okay, I think this place is pretty much completely exhausted at this point. We have found the intel, we have found most of the chests, so I think we can move on. So yeah, let's keep migrating west. Oh, right. Now we have enough scrap, so we can continue with the quest as well. Okay, so we have researched the Mola pistol, basically a dart pistol. Let's make one, let's create, I believe it will ask for 90 darts, so let's make it 3 times, because one craft will give us 30, and I will preemptively make the respawn beacon as well. Great, and now we need to place the respawn beacon. Yeah, you know what? We can pick it up right away, so might as well just get it out of the way.
This used to be Fremen territory, but the War of Assassins and the Sardaukar pogrom put an end to that. Now the sector is crawling with scavengers, fighting over the scraps of Imperium technology left in the wake of this so-called noble war. But that's to your advantage, Offworlder. Allow them to do the hard work of gathering the salvage, and then take it from them. Don't hesitate to kill them all. They would do the same to you.
Right, this is one of the other outposts, so might as well take care of it now since we're in the area. So we don't need to come back here any in the future. Now, while the chests themselves are basically open to anyone, enemies are not, so if we are here after another player, we might not find any enemies, and as far as I can tell, yeah, this place has been picked clean. By the way...
Be on the lookout for any scrap we can use to shore up the walls and make barricades. We need to be ready if any of the beast slavers decide to move on us. I know they're just itching to send us to work on their precious Neo-Carthag. Better a worm take you than have an ink vine lash grinding you down in some Harkonnen slave pit.
Okay, we are still looking for the intel, so let's carry on. I don't want to leave until this place is finished. Ah, there's another player. Yeah, don't worry about me. Yeah, sometimes it can be a bit hard to tell who is a player and who isn't, because there are no nameplates. Anyways, this place is now finished, so I suppose we can move on, but tell you what, we have these little caves here. I will take a look at that one, because this one will give us a very important resource. I believe it's called a micro sandwich fiber or something like that. Basically, the material that the Fremen use to make the steel suits. Obviously, that will be very, very important. And it should be around here somewhere. I cannot wait to get my hands on the suspender belts, because I really don't like exploring the area without one. Okay, that takes care of these guys. We have a chest, let's take care of that. Thank you. And I think the cave is this one, yeah. So these are the sealed entrances to the caves. If we cut this one, this will give us a bit of micro sandwich fabric, but we can find a little bit more inside. If all goes well, obviously. Oh geez. Do not want to step into that one. Ooh, the water. Yes, please. Yeah, there we go. This is... We found an EMF generator and a micro sandwich fabric. As I said, this will be very important to craft the steel suits. Anyways, I think at this point we can go... I don't think we can get through here unless I... Well, I suppose we can roll on the side of the cave. That's going to be fine. Ooh. Good thing I did. So this one has more resources. And that is a liter John. Right? No, wait. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Liter John. Basically a canteen. This one can be used to store water. Anyways, let's pick up this one. And that's it for now. Okay, we can carry on. Apparently there's another outpost. They are a little bit more dense than I remember from the beta. Well, you know what? Since we are here, let's take care of it. I think the player might have come from this way, so if we are lucky, we don't need to deal with the NPCs. No, never mind. They are still alive and kicking.
Eyes on target. Who's on? Let's go.
Okay, the combat is coming back to me now. I suppose we could use the dart gun, but I prefer to use the melee because, well, later on we will have to deal with shielded enemies like this guy, so might as well get used to it. Oh yeah, and if you are here, you really want to take a look at these generators because these guys have plenty of fuel and you will need that for your own base later on. Anyways, we did find the intel, right? I think we did, but let me just double check. So, yeah, 1 out of 1. Good. Okay, I suppose we can move on at this point.
Reveal yourself.
Who's there?
They're
Someone's
here. I require backup.
Okay, I am getting a little bit tired of getting hit by ranged enemies, so tell you what, let's unlock our next skill. Let's press K, and we have 4 skill points at this point, and we have this skill that we can unlock, Deflection. You enter a defensive stance, deflecting darts that are fired at you. This ability lasts as long as you have the stamina. So yeah, very, very good against ranged enemies, obviously, but later on we will have, well, heavy enemies who will fire very, very fast, and, well, that's going to be a little bit harder to deflect. Anyways, next we need to research the binoculars. I need to pay attention to the quest on the top left. So let's take care of this one, and obviously we need to craft it. There we go. I will put this one into the last slot, I suppose. Also, I see no reason to carry the liter John on the hotbar. That's going to be fine. The beacon can be on 7, and yeah, the cutter can be on 4. I suppose we might as well start harvesting copper too. This is copper, by the way. Well, good morning, Arrakis, and as you might have guessed, now we need to stay in the shadows because we don't want to lose our... basically, we are half down on our water and we do not want to get any lower than this. Anyways, use our ability and need to kill a scavenger next. That's fine. Let me just harvest this granite real quick. It will need to be harvested later for the base anyways. So now we need to find a scavenger. There is another outpost right here behind this cliff face. So tell you what, let's go there and take care of them real quick. Okay, here we go. There's the big chest right away. Let's take a look. And knee to the face.
It's obvious you've had some training, off-worlder. But nothing can truly prepare you for what the desert has in store. Hone your skills and harden yourself to the violence you must do to survive. Remember, Arrakis will sharpen you.
I need backup!
Reveal yourself!
And that is our first death. Oh well. Let's just get back into it. Oh, we are not too far away. Yeah, it's the cave, that's fine. Anyways, death in this game is not very punishing. Basically, we sometimes lose our money, maybe a bit of resources, but that's about it, so it's not the end of the world if we die. We just need to find our way back to the body and that's it. Anyways, we have a very handy waypoint on the compass, so let's just follow that one. Okay, so this is where we died. I don't see a beacon where we died, so I don't think... Oh, wait, that is... Okay, well, tell you what. Let's use the gun for the first time. I think it's a pretty decent ranged combat system. It's nothing to write home about, but I think it is fairly competent and it really does the job, so yeah. The best I can describe it is maybe a little bit better than Fallout 4, for example. So yeah. Anyways, there's our body and we... Oh yeah, we lost quite a few resources. Let's pick those up real quick. Anyways, let's keep looking. Oh, we have an audio log.
We can sell your stuff to Mir Charky at Griffin's Reach trade post, but be warned, you won't be able to pull anything over on him. He used to be a scout himself. And don't try lifting anything from the trade post either. Charky's brute bodyguard you will drop you before you can make it to the door.
Okay, as you might have seen, there is actually a self-revive system in the game, so even if you get downed, it's not the end of the world. The last time I just got a little bit unlucky because we were swarmed, but now we were okay. Anyways, we are out of water, unfortunately. So yeah, tell you what, let's look for flowers real quick and then we will come back. Oh, there we go. Lucky. Now, flowers will only get us up to the first level of hydration. We can't go any higher than this. To get any higher than this, we will need to have a proper water generation. And that will come from the base, obviously. Okay, there we go. So this place is now finished. Uh-oh. We do not want to pass this one. This is way too big. I think we might be able to cross here. That place is very, very big. I don't like it. Let me take a look. So to the north. By the way, let's make sure that we pick up the fuel. Either player. So we want to go northwest. Yeah, that one looks relatively okay. That one is way too big. So let's go for it. Pay attention to the vibration indicator. If it goes haywire and it is going to be red, then we are being pursued by the worm. But for a short crossing like this, I don't think that's going to be a problem. And now we have heat stroke. Get out of the sun, quick, quick, quick. Oh, he's not dead. There we go. Sometimes the NPCs can also get into the down state like us. Make sure everyone is dead, because, well, they can get up. Anyways, I will obviously hydrate right here. Oh yeah, one more thing. I am not sure if I will make proper outros for this series. Sometimes it will be an abrupt end to the episode. So be prepared for that, because, well, this is not exactly the kind of game where I can just quickly stop wherever. So yeah, tell you what, I will keep recording, and I suppose I will just sometimes fade out in a relatively calm environment, and that will be the end of the episode. I am saying this because, well, I am reaching the 1 hour mark on the recording right now, so we might need to say goodbye relatively soon. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, you can leave a like, leave a comment, and maybe subscribe to the channel if you want. If you would like to support me a little bit more, you can do so by clicking the join button and becoming a channel member, which will give you an early and ad-free access to these videos. Once again, thank you for watching, and thank you very much for your support. I will see you in the next one. Thank you, and goodbye.